with the beautiful view of the Bairavakanda mountain. Very warm welcome to the live telecast of Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. The first game, the kick-off game of this incredible tournament here in the Hill Capital, the rugby crazy Hill Capital, as the Antonians host St. Joseph's College, Colombo. What a game it is promising to be, and what a tournament we have in our hands. It's going to be an incredible one here at Bogambara. The Antonians, as you see, taking on St. Joseph's College. The weather gods have been so far so good, despite being a little gloomy here at Kandy. Earlier today, we've had a little bit of slight drizzles coming around. But currently, nice, bright sunshine here at Bogambara and very good weather. Maximum temperature at 31, minimum at 27. Currently feels like around 30, and there is a wind which is going from left to the right of your screens. So both the teams will be revving to go and will want to make sure that it is going to be a cracker-lacking start to their season. Josephians, of course, somewhat favorites to go all the way, but the Antonians will want to make sure that they impress in front of their home crowd. This week we have some interesting matches. Apart from this one, tomorrow on Friday the 16th, College here at Bogambara again, and then St. Peter's College again, Royal College on Saturday. Blockbuster encounter in Bambalapedia. Thomi
Calypso mix ito one velawa ka nagamayana ba boring life ka break up karagana salsa na ba lulu na tawad aniyan kick ka full happening mana ba anchi ratatama rasa bedena manji rasa bala khaedan alut vela
Mai.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න, ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ.
KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing.
Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Prima Kotumi Fantamai.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Welcome back to the live action as we ready for this incredible game. Let's quickly take a look at how the team cards span up for this encounter. The two squads, St. Joseph's College, Atukorala in the Rodrigo, Janit Marasing, Ino Silva, Vishika Fernandez, and IS Lanka making up the forwards. The backs, we are on the run the and that incredible now in Marasinghe play at number 12 despite wearing the number 8 jersey. Ruchi go in the Brian Fernando in, and also Nathan Gunnar Tyron Mariadas, Naik and Tyron at the number 15 spot. As the firecrackers go, we are in for a firecracker here at Bogambara. Joining me in the com box is James Spears. Very good afternoon to you, James. And this one is an interesting one. The men in the middle, the man who is taking charge of the first game of the season will be Shankar Bekon, who's assisted by Kalum Sandaruan and Sarat Madugal on the touch lines. Incredible encounter to start out the proceedings. In fact, a battle of the saints with the two teams lining up. James, it's going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely, Sudarshan. Electric atmosphere at these grounds as well. Both schools eagerly waiting for this curtain raiser. And interesting lineups for both teams. We've seen a glimpse of these two teams, the talents of these two teams, Sudarshan, at the Sevens tournament we had a couple of months back. But this is where it matters.
Well, completely different ball game, so they will want to make sure that their presence is felt. Sahan Kirtisiri, the skipper for the Antonians, kicking from right to left of your screens. Here's the kickoff of the opening game, the curtain raiser of Dialog Schools Rugby League as Josephians collected cleanly, setting it up. Quickly going to the boot was the Hamjaya. Kirtisiri is back to collect it inside his own 22 meters. Has a big boot on him, this boy. And Saha Kirtisiri duly complies. Doesn't find touch though. Show and go by the Josephian collector. High tackle early on. Need to be a little careful with the player discipline.
So we are going to see a lot of kicking in this game because, as we all know, Bogambara has a very unpredictable wind, and all teams playing here always uses that kicking advantage.
Nathan Gunaratna with that first touch finder didn't get the distance that he would have liked, but nevertheless that's a territorial advantage for the Joes getting into the opposition half. Seneviratna lining up the throw, goes to the back of the line out. Lanka collects it. Advantage for the Josephians. Referee Abekon straight away penalizing the Antonians. Not 10 meters is the call. Gunaratna yet again handed the responsibility of putting the ball into touch. The Josephians looking to use their big forwards who can make life difficult for any team.
Now it's a golden opportunity for the Josephians. to put on some points on the board earlier on in this game. Antonians really unnecessary there, not dropping back 10 meters in the very first line out, putting on pressure to themselves. Seniviratne
yet again to the last spot, doesn't find the man. Keithisiri, desperate kick by him. Gunaratne doesn't collect it cleanly. Here's a charge by Alahakon, brought down. Marasinghe offloads to Rodrigo. Rodrigo goes to ground, falls on the wrong side, so ball available for the Antonians, who pounce on that. Lovely work by Mariadas that time, taking it forward. Good offload, and Atukurala takes it to contact. Keithisiri yet again opting to go to his boot. Lovely high-hanging kick for territory, collected by the Antonians. Offloads, show and go. Riolano was the man who collected that pass. Promising signs for the Antonians. They are here with a plan. They are here to attack the corners, with their kicker being accurate with his kicks. And if the backs are able to try and support, it's going to be a very good one.
Absolutely, Sudarshan. And Keithisiri, good presence of mind, saw the space, and a small chip kick into space. Good chase by the Antonian winger Kumara. That's now St. Joseph's under pressure inside their own half. Good clean scrum. Sends it out.
Rodrigo's kick, and Keithisiri is in position to collect that one. A little bit of uncertainty, and luckily for Keithisiri, he managed to collect it, but referee Shankar Bacon penalized him.
Very first game of the season, both teams looking a bit rusty. How strong their forwards are. They're trying to use that advantage against him. This time, D'Souza with the throw-in.
Tried with the third pod, but this time going to the second pod. Antonians managing to pounce on that ball. Very good counter-attacking work. Ball put up. The Hamza collecting it. Marasinghe just outside the man. Begs for the ball, but ball coming out slow. Here's Janit Marasinghe. Good defensive work by the Antonians. Pressure coming in. Here's Marasinghe. Naveen, get away from me, says to the first tackler. Back of the hand pass to Gunaratne. Gunaratne surveying his options. Jose now on to the 22 meters. Play on, says the referee, and that's a penalty in favor of the Antonians. Holding on the ball on the ground was the error from the Joes. So both teams making errors. And stopping their own attacks. Will have to try and settle down here. Pictures coming to you live from the Bogambara grounds, of course, on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com.
Antonians this time collecting it cleanly, setting up a maul. Opts to go to his line. Keithisiri. Good, a high-hanging kick. Can Antonians put on pressure? Gunaratne collects it keenly. Now up to Fernando. Fernando going forward. Finally taken down. Josephians trying to slow things down as the Hamza kicks it into space. Antonians on the back foot. Amjad collects the ball out to Katie City. Takes his time. Tries to kick it out. Ball is still in play. Gunaratne manages to keep it inside, but the system referee says that went out. So brilliant territorial kick by Katie City.
Risk is tough by Gunaratne, because if there was Antonian a little close by, he would have just picked that one and go. But lovely territorial kicking by the Antonian skipper. That's the value that a very good kicker can give you.
So Seniratne not getting it right. So nerves coming into play for any hooker. We'll have to shake it off and move on to the next play as the Antonians choose to go for a scrum. Shan Gunaratne to feed in the ball. Antonians have the width of the grounds. As the blind side winger also. Ball pops out from the side of scrum. Katie City now. Back at the hand pass. Umita Dasanayaka going into contact. Gunaratne yet again to Katie City. Katie City out to his line. Amjad has been taken down. Ball going out. Referee says not releasing. So Antonians taking the quick tap. Still having an advantage. Katie City cuts back inside. Needs support. Antonians on the charge now. Gunaratne. Using their advantage, their backs. Gunaratne feeds it in. Clean line out. 8-9 lower move. Shan Gunaratne cuts back inside. Just short of on down and release the ball for the supporting players. Was too greedy. And Josephians doing very well to go win that penalty. Nathan Gunaratne now has a chance to get out of jail. Brilliant kick, brilliant kick. Just 2 meters out of his own goal line. And manages to bring play up close to the halfway mark. 12 minutes up. This encounter Still no points for either of the teams. Josephians now with the line out. Clean line out. Antonians trying to sack the maul. And they've managed to do it and to turn over the ball. Antonians now yet again in attack. Gunabna trying to get the fast ball out to the line. Ketasiri yet again goes to boot. Good high angle kick. Collected by Josephians. Kicks it back into space. Very well done. Finding touch inside the 22-meter line. It's a 50-22. So the Josephians get position yet again. Brilliantly done there. Momentum continuously shifting back and forth. There you go. That wonderful kick by the Josephians. Good line out take. Antonians were successful twice, bringing down that maul. This time around, referee penalizing them for collapsing the maul. So advantage. Smarsinger goes into contact, takes on 3 defenders, managing to gain some important ground. As Randeepa tries to go by himself, comes short. Josephians uses their forwards. That's the first try. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023, the opening try of the season. Absolutely brilliant. Good strength shown by the Josephian forwards. Jehan Natakorala, the first try scorer of this season for St. Joseph's and in this tournament. Continuous pressure put on by St. Josephians. There you go. Al-Hakon trying to cut back inside, setting it up. And Natakorala seeing the gap, just diving into the try. Rodrigo with the conversion, 5 points to nil. First points on board, that's what you want. And the kick is chased by KTC. So it will stay 5 points to nil. These points will be very crucial. Antonians need to switch on and hit back. There you go, the charge. Well timed, smothered. So it's 5 points to nil as KTC kicks off yet again. Not collected cleanly. Antonians now has a chance. Quick momentum shift would help them. Josephians should be able to hold on to this momentum that they got after scoring the first try.
Well, global phenomena, isn't it? You use the soon as you score, the moment you score, the teams are very vulnerable because they do not have the same focus. We saw that with the Joes coughing that one out cheaply. Yet again, the Antonian prop forward doing the error of getting his foot in the way. But Josephians doing one better and kicking the ball out in full. So no harm done for the Antonians so far with that mistake. Line out inside the Joes 50. Antonians need to try and get a couple of phases. There you go, as you see. Couldn't get the connection right. Randeepa, very dangerous man with the ball from broken play. Sadhuka Korala, the man who was on the ground, getting a little bit of a stretch.
We'll see quite a lot of players going down to that, playing their first game after a very long time. And with this heat, it's going to be very hard for them to adapt.
Glad that the gloomy skies have cleared up. It's nice and sunny here in Kandy. Going to the number 4 spot. All good. Antonian setting up, peeling away. A little too quick for my liking, that peel ball. Numbers on the outside, into space. Omita Disanaika still nipping his way around. Gives to Kirtisiri. Now Watukorala goes through the middle. Offside, says the referee. So Antonians playing with advantage. Going to the short side. Kirtisiri gives it to Mariadas. Mariadas to Disanaika. Disanaika offloads. Keeps it alive. Antonians now ever so close. Inside 5 meters of the try line. Can they battle their way through for an equalizer? Again, penalty advantage in favor of the Maroon Double Blues. Marasinghe tries to go through the middle. Referee Shankar Bekon wants to have a word with the skipper.
Continuous penalties for line being offside, so the referee rightfully having a word with the skipper, giving that warning next time around. The player who is offside will be sent out. The Antonians decides to go for touch.
Now line out in favor of the Antonians. The most crucial one so far in the game for the Antonians. Goes to number 2, collected cleanly, setting up are the Antonians. The Eagles now gathering together for the hunt. Shove their way through, and that's the first try for the Antonians with the equalizer. 5 points with the conversion to come. And the Antonians have come away with it. Rakesh Pillai, the man who went down with the ball, I believe. Or was it Riolano? Jude Riolano getting the score for the Antonians. Here's how it happened. Number 2, peeling it and making sure the ball is available at the back. Antonians found a way on the shorter side and going all the way. Good stuff by Riolano to be able to ground that ball and not being held up. Here's Kirtisiri lining it up. Shouldn't be too much of a trouble for the skipper. Has a gifted left foot. Lovely curving kick. How about that for a conversion by the skipper, Sahan Kirtisiri, last season's highest point scorer, doing it for his team.
Brilliant, brilliant kick, Sudarshana. Taking the wind into account, curling it in. There you go, the replay. Brilliantly done. 2 points to his team to take on the lead, 7 points to 5. Antonians are on the charge. Now, can the Josephians hit back? Rodrigo with the restart. Rodrigo taking time, kicking it up high. Collected cleanly. Now Kirtisiri under pressure. Manages to kick it out, but collected by Alahakon. Alahakon now runs back inside. Brilliant tackle. Josephians now trying to gain some meters. There's support on the short side. Continues to go on the short side. Cutting back inside. As Randeepa gives it out to Seniviratna. Seniviratna barges through. Antonian's not rolling away. So penalty advantage for Josephians. Marsinga goes into contact. Randeepa gives it out. Josephians have numbers on the outside. Nathan Gunaratna had support but decided to go by himself. Josephian settling it down, slowing things down. Randeepa now using his forwards. St. Joseph's College on the charge. Marasinga now gives a long cutout pass to Alahakon. Alahakon bundled down. Referee says play on. No advantage, so going back to the initial penalty. Josephians now with another opportunity to take the lead back. Referee saying that it was a high tackle. Referee decides to stop the clock off your screen. Try score of St. Anthony's Jude Relano is on the ground. Brilliant first game. Electric atmosphere. Stadium full of fans. It's good to have schools rugby back. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. The medics come. Medics are checking on Rilano.
Gold hair and body wash එක.
The Gold Band's hair and body wash for a quick wash. Cleanses and cools your skin. Available at all leading supermarkets as we await for the game to be restarted. The 3-in-1. I think that'll be very much interesting for all these young rugbyrites and all sports people. I think Jude Riolano will have to go through HIA, head injury assessment, where they will assess his ability and whether he is suffering from a concussion. Gunaratna yet again put in the ball to boot. Sends the ball out.
Antonians are so far managing to break the Josephian line out, Sudarshana, where they are very strong. They've been managing to sack the ball as soon as it's set up. There you go yet again.
Yet again, lovely work, absolutely lovely work by the Antonians, like you mentioned. And if you can try and hinder the Josephians at their strong sword, that's going to really trouble them. Ruchit Rodrigo, well marked by the Antonian defenders, putting pressure on the ball. Here's Marasinger trying to go low. Good dedicated tackle by Disanaika, who manages to put him down. Sachin Thanavaidanathan didn't start the game, has come in as a substitute for the Josephian, carrying the ball forward. A little bit of a show and go by the Joes. That time it was Rodrigo. Josephians are rallying around the ball now. Referee now playing advantage in favor of the lads from Maradana. Antonians need to keep that discipline intact. Joes now keeping it close to their strong forwards. Good tackling coming in from the Antonians. Hearty defense by the Eagles, but the Joes are equal to the task. Attacking from the close quarters. Randeepa now to the Hamjaya, coughs it out cheaply. But Joes will have another life as they had 2 penalties coming their way.
Josephians very lucky there that they had a penalty advantage as they take the tap quickly. Big man Marasinger goes onto ground. This time around, second try for the Josephians. Jehan Natukorala. So St. Joseph's College take the lead back 10 points to 7 after a good passage of play. Good strong attack shown by their forwards. They were working hard for the past 3 to 4 minutes, keeping it close to themselves. And Marasinger setting it up, and Atakorala again just picking and diving into the goal.
Uh, 10 points to 7. And now Joes in front. Rodrigo's conversion. Yet again, the chase was pretty good, but Rodrigo keeps his calm and adds in the extra. So 12 points to 7. St. Joseph's with a 5-point lead.
Both teams giving their hearts out. And now we can see the game is slowing down a little bit. The players experiencing the heat as Keita City, good high-hanging kick, giving enough time for his chasers as Antonians now collects the ball. Unfortunately for the Antonians, Shenuka Kotuila missing out, dropping the ball. It was a good chase, good collection. But as you see, pressure getting on to his head. Both teams trying to slow things down to get some extra breath. Randiba lining up to feed in the ball. Good clean scrum. Randiba out to Dahamje. Good long kick, but straight to Keita City. Makes no mistake. Takes his time. Puts on a good high-hanging kick. Back to Rodrigo. Rodrigo identifying the space and kicking it out. Gaining good meters, but the ball for the Antonians. Tisaragalanga now to throw in for St. Anthony's College. Just under 7 minutes to go on our clock. So you know it's only 35 minutes. This Dialog Schools Rugby League that's played for one half as Gunaratna gives it out to Keita City. Goes to his ever reliable boot. Good kick to the corner. Not collected cleanly by the Josephians. So advantage for St. Anthony's. Referee says there's no advantage to play on. So Josephians really under pressure when Keita City puts the ball into boot, Sudarshan.
Absolutely. I think that's a well thought out plan. If you can see the moment Ketisiri puts the ball to boot, Roshan Kumar, the winger, is very backing that kick up very well. And your territorial kicks are only as good as your chasers, and the Antonians currently are delivering on that front. They need to try and get another equalizer before the end of the first half, if possible, because that will hold them up coming into the second half. Here's Ketisiri. A lovely move, and what a beautiful run by the Antonian ball carrier, hitting that close quarters, close gap. Should have given it out. The nippy halfback wanted to do a little more. Antonians getting the advantage, getting the penalty, and Ketisiri has no hesitation. He points to the post, and the correct thing to do. You need to try and get points every time you come to the red zone of the opposition. Lovely run that time by Maria Das. Charged his way into the 22 meters. Yes, Ketisiri lining it up. 30 minutes on our clock. So just under 5 minutes to play according to our time. But again, a reminder that it all comes down to the referee's clock. Regulation kick put over by the skipper, Sahan Ketisiri, brings the score to 10 points to 12. Last season's highest point scorer is looking well and truly well to try and clinch that one this season as well. And if he manages to do that, he'll be able to try and steer Antonians into a very good position.
Brilliant decision to go for points there. Few more minutes to go on the clock. Bring the deficit down. Get some momentum. As Rodrigo with a good Ayagi kick. Collected cleanly there by the Antonians. Rashid Abdul. But fumbles the ball in the ruck. So St. Joseph's College with the advantage.
Now this one's interesting because this scrum, Marasinghe, like what's mentioned on the team sheet, is moving towards the second centre position. So Daham Jaya off your screen. You have Daham Jaya at number 10 for St. Joseph's. Ruchit Rodrigo almost acting as the number 12 in front of Marasinghe, and then Marasinghe will be up to the lads in the double blue maroon jerseys in the forwards to try and unsettle this ball. Ball at the back. Ramdeep Daham Jaya cuts back in and gives it to Marasinghe. Shoves out the first tackler. But Atukorala comes and bear hugs him. Now Gunaratne brought down. Gunaratne has a lovely bit of work by the Antonian defenders, managing to bundle him into touch that time. Ravidu Velagedara with the tackle. Antonians using that touchline very well.
Brilliantly done there by the Antonians, but let's talk about Marasinghe. The advantage a coach has to play player like Marasinghe on the line to break the defense as the Antonians win the line out. Kicks it out. Referee says time up on my clock. It's half time. Josephians leading 12 points to 10. 2 tries for them with 1 conversion and 1 converted try and a penalty for St. Anthony's College. This first game of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. 12 points today, St. Joseph's College leading.
Halftime confirmation, 10 points to 12 in favor of the Josephians. And before we go on to the highlights of the first half, a reminder about the bite that bites back. Keel's Crest Nightmare Sausages, the bite that bites back. If you're in the mood for a bite that spices up your hangout or party, if you're joining together to watch this one, Keel's Crest Nightmare Sausage is the ideal pairing to spice up your parties. I'm almost salivating and losing my words there as well. Let's try and take a look at the highlights of the first half, where both teams went at each other. Just 2 points separating the two. Kickoffs have been very good by the Antonians, who managed to put the ball high up. The opening score for St. Joseph's College came through their forwards, marauding their way through and getting it right underneath the post. Jehan Atakorala, the man who touched down for St. Anthony's College. And then Antonians straight away replied with a try of their own. This time it was Jude Rialano who had to go in for an HIA, but this so far has been the moment for me. Absolutely lovely curving kick. Again getting in on the read. Atakorala scoring a brace for the Joes, and then despite the charge in by Keithisiri, Rodrigo managing to get the conversion to put St. Joseph's 2 points ahead. The league curtain raiser, half-time is up with St. Joseph's College leading 12 points to 10. What we'll do now is we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have the second half action on the other side.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට. Kelowna, beautiful outside and inside. නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Manicure hot and spicy, trending fashion on a navy. Rasta baby, Papare beat ke Saturday ko tumhe Punjabi. Let a baby, mom, Saturday kapuna, Rasta diva fire na, Saturday adanari ko tumi Fantama, fun of day bena, hot cup pe kapmana, Saturday adanari ko tumi Fantama.
Prima kotumi fantamai.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්දිනින්න, ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Salbalakaya ava Cheese wasata yalu set එක smiley bedanava ඕන වෙලාවක snack එක දැක්කම හිත fix වෙනවා සරල කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා Calypso mix එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා boring life එක break up කරගෙන salsa නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට onion kick එක full happening වෙනවා
රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
education loans and salary advances. Amazing!
Introducing the digital youth account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Rasabalakaya ava cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරද කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සු මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්ස නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Introducing NeosPay, a fun way to make payments from your Neos app. For the fun of paying, #NeosPaid.
Manicure hot and spicy, cheering got the navy. Satte devi, kappe ate, match එක fun කරලම යාවි. සර දෙවි, හිත තාලෙන්නට වෙනා, fun නිනිම වින්නුනා. සර දාවි අතනාරි කොතුමි fun තමා. Fun papare play වෙනා, set එක connect වුණා. සර දාවි අතනාරි කොතුමි fun තමා.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai!
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Mom, Saturday kapuna, Asadiva Fairuna, Saradavi Adanari Kotumi, Fantama. Kotumi, Fantama.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai!
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem. නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි. නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Introducing NeosPay, a fun way to make payments from your Neos app. For the fun of paying, #NeosPaid.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
The time has come once again. for the Warriors to battle in pursuit of supremacy. Dialog Schools Rugby League. The battle for supremacy starts in June.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from the Bogambara Stadium. Curtain raiser of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023 brought to you on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. The undisputed leader in bringing you everything that is sport in the country. And what a first half we've had in this game. Antonians hosting the Josephians. The Joes scored first, Antonians hit him back, Joe's getting another try, and then Antonians cutting the deficit with 3 points. 10 points to 12 is the score, as the Josephians will start from right to the left of your screens. Now St. Joseph's, as you can see from that Antonian flag at the back, are playing against the wind. So the life will be slightly difficult for the Joes, and the Antonians will relish the fact that they are with the wind in this second half, especially with their skipper Sahan Keithisiri with a massive boot. Here's Keithisiri straight away into the game. Lovely bullet kick, and forces the player to take the ball outside. Nathan Gunaratne under pressure. What a brilliant territorial kick. Sunati just restarts from where he left off, Keithisiri, and is really making an impact in this game.
Absolutely, and early on pressure for the Josephians. There you go. He's got a big boot and the wind assisting him. Nathan Gunaratne losing his footing. Now Galanga with a long throw. Referee says not straight. So opportunity just given away,
and not ideal for the Antonians, isn't it? Just 2 points behind, and you get that psychological advantage of being able to come into the Joes territory. And Galanga making hash of that throw. Rialano seems like he's past the HIA and is back in the middle. Just as I say that, touching his forehead, I hope there's nothing wrong. The two teams coached by the Antonians, of course, coached by Sri Lanka 7 skipper Srinath Surya Bandara, and the Joes, of course, coached for another year by Nilfa Ibrahim, Sri Lanka 7's head coach. Vyagarandeep, like all good halfbacks do, getting in referees here, gets the short tap, goes to the short side, and not rolling away is the call. Sachin Thanavaidanatha takes it quickly. Antonians had retreated 10 meters, so that's no problem. Need to get away from that contact area without obstructing the ball. Lovely jackling work. Absolutely brilliant jackling work by the Eagles that time. Goes to the deep pocket. Finds Keithisiri. Keithisiri's kick. This time slightly overcooked it. I was wondering whether it was going to be a 50-22. And if it was going to be a 50-22, that would have been the first 50-22 of this second half. Because Keithisiri really looks at that option, and when you have a kicker who's able to try and do that accurately, is a massive, massive asset to any team, and the forwards must be absolutely loving that. Lovely jackling work by the Antonians, which opened that door, but unfortunately kick being a little too overcooked brings play back to the exact same position.
Interestingly, Sudarshan, Josephians, with the experience they have and the quality of the players they have, they've been giving away the ball quite easily to the Antonians. As Randeep at this time feeds it in.
Going on the short side is Marasinghe, but is met with a very hearty tackle by the Antonians, who are trying to counter-ruck. They are putting pressure at ruck time. Yes, Marasinghe, the younger one, Janit, taking the ball forward. Rodrigo now trying to hold him upwards. Satoko Rala, the vice captain for the Antonians. Randeep lost it momentarily. Here's Navin Marasinghe. Antonians may be small in size, but like Naimiris from Cress, they bite back. Kick and chase. It's a foot race. Kumar on Rodrigo. Rodrigo under pressure. Antonians get the penalty for holding on. Trying to take it quickly was Velagadara, but referee says from the wrong mark. Now, interesting decision to be made. Are you going to go for points? It's very early in the second half. Or are you going to ride on the momentum? Here's what happened. Lovely bit of work. Putting pressure on the Joes. And this kick was very well thought of. Roshan Kumara has been chasing all day long. Good stuff on Ruchit Rodrigo. Goes over him as well. And Rodrigo had no right to the ball there. Absolutely no right to the ball. So referee Ishankar Bekon, right on spot with the absolute correct decision. Most times than not, when they make a mistake, every one of us are very quick to try and pounce on them. But referee Abrekon this time, lovely bit of work. Antonians are feeling it. Antonians want to go all the way. Antonians wants the bigger points. Giving confidence to their number 2, Galanga, with a lot at stake here. We've seen the Antonian maul has been good. Seems like they will go to the second pod. Goes to number 4. Collected cleanly. Sets it up. Here's Antonians marching. Momentarily stopped. Once says the referee. Galanga with the ball. Sends it out to Ketasiri. Ketasiri shows and goes. Need to get away from there. Referee now playing advantage against St. Joseph's. Numbers on the outside, man on the outside, and that is going to be the second try for Anthony's College. Omita Disanaika touching down in the opposite corner of where it all started. So the entire team contributing to that try, and the Eagles strike back. 15 points to 12 with the conversion to come. This one is going to be interesting.
Absolutely, Sudarshan. A cracking game. Brilliantly done. There you go. Gururatna identifying the space out wide, gives it out quickly. They had a penalty advantage. Amita Disanayaka, as any wing three-quarter would do, puts on the finishing touches. $15 points to 12. Just a 3-point lead. But Antonians with the momentum now. As Keith City lines up. A bit of a difficult conversion, but he has the support of the wind.
Thumping kick has the direction. Oh well. Sahan Kirtisiri, you beauty. Absolutely incredible stuff that lifts the entire team, because every time you score, your skipper is going to give you extra value to your scores. Lovely bit of stuff. 17 points to 12. 5-point lead now to the Antonians. Ideal start that they would have expected for the Eagles. Now Josephians need to crawl back to the lead. They will believe in themselves because Joes have a lot of firepower across the team. But the Antonians are fighting it out. The Fangs are out for the Antonians.
Josephians would want to have that momentum they had in the first half back as soon as possible, and this is a very important restart.
Rodrigo puts it up. Very good high-hanging kick in space. Lovely bit of work by the Antonians trying to collect that. Collects it cleanly. Here's Keithisiri again. That thumping boot coming into the party. Gunaratna replies in kind. Back to Keithisiri. Yet again puts the ball to boot. There was a hand of Gunaratna in there. Joes now bundled into touch. Antonians playing with a little spring in their step. Was the ideal start that they hoped for.
Antonians putting a lot of effort in these opening minutes in this first half. We've seen this quite a lot in previous seasons as well, Sudarshan. Antonians giving their hearts out in the first part of the second half, but losing it out right towards the end. But this is a telling moment in this season. Whether they've changed that, whether they can go all the way. And the Josephians, it's up to them. They were slightly favorites coming into this game. They had good momentum in the first half, but the second half it has been all St. Anthony's College.
Interesting when you say slight favorites to the Josephians, because man to man I think the Josephians had a massive advantage, but the Antonians are really playing out of their skins. Because the Josephians across the park, they have a lot of experience. They are men who have played in the previous season. They really did impress in the previous season as well, ending up as the league runners-up. Antonians, on the other hand, had a forgettable season last year. Like you mentioned, worse in the lead. They led the first half. They were dominant in that third quarter. It's the fourth quarter that they didn't manage to try and finish up. So they will want to try and keep the same momentum and energy. Again, Antonians going to number 2, setting it up. Closing the gap is the call from the referee, and referee Shankar. Beg your pardon, seems like the ball has dislodged and gotten back again, so penalized. A technical call from the referee, yet again, right on spot.
Interestingly, with the size difference and the advantage St. Joseph's have had with their forwards, Antonians have been doing really well with their maul, Sudarshan, and Josephians have been struggling to keep them at bay this time around. Antonians making that mistake as Senibiratna now for the Josephians.
Maul defense has been terrific by the Antonians. They've done really well. Again, Josephians setting it up. Antonians this time opting to hold and wait for the ball to come out. St. Joseph's now dislodged. Still on the march. And need to find a way to try and stop this one, because it's a heavy forward back for the St. Joseph's. Once calls the referee. So the ball needs to come out. Here's a big Marasinger. There's no passing. He will go through at least 2 men, and he does. Change of direction for St. Joseph's. Lovely tackle again. I believe that was the number 8 for Anthony Skotuila. Putting good pressure, dedicated in their defense are the Antonians, but referee playing advantage. Seems like the assistant referee Madhugal has spotted something. This time I think it's Abdul Rasid who's been the guilty party. The deputy skipper steps up to try and mediate. Yes, seems like it was a late charge on the halfback Vihangarandeepa from St. Joseph's. Antonians penalised inside their own 22. It'll be interesting to see what the call will be from the Joes. Whether they'll want to go to the corner or will they go for points. But seems like they'll go for points. Interesting call. They want to show that they're confident. There you go. That's the late charge. Rightfully called by the assistant referee, Sarath Madugalla.
Kirthisiry on the first half, Sudarshan decided to go for points, and that helped their momentum. But this time, St. Joseph's, they are very confident. They are telling the Antonians, no, we can shove through, go through your forwards to score.
And also they have two big men on the outside as well. Rodrigo and Marasinghe, who's lining up in the middle. Front pale this time. Tuatu Korala, who's already touched down twice. Setting it up. Goes on the short side, the Josephians. Inches away from the try line. Antonians putting their bodies on the line. Marasinghe. Now referee playing advantage, so Antonians will have to make sure that they're disciplined. Well, this time again it's Abdul Rasid. Was it Jude Riolano? Oh no. Riolano sent to the bin. This can be very, very costly for the Antonians. He'll have to spend time in the Norwich chair. Not what the Antonians would have hoped for. Short tap taken by Jose. Makes the ball available. Antonians pouncing on that. But Jose coming away with it. Still available for the Joes. Held up. That's going to be a line kick. Antonians will be absolutely jubilant. Unlike back in the day, there is no going forward. If you are not able to ground the ball, you will miss out on the opportunity, as the Hurricanes would tell you. They lost out a spot in the semi-final to the Brumbies, where Adisavia didn't manage to ground the ball. Adisavia says that he was absolutely sure that he grounded it. But this time around, there was no protest by the Josephian ball carrier as well. But credit to these young Antonian lads. They're putting their bodies against the line, James, and they are putting up a really, really commendable defensive effort.
Absolutely, but still, Josephians have more time. They have the numerical advantage. They have to make the most of it. Few more minutes to go until the Antonians are back to their full strength. The one advantage the Antonians have is they have the wind on their back. So this restart could be a long kick. As I say, Kirthisiry up to the halfway meter. Gunaratne collects it. Looks for options, gives it to Marasinghe. Marasinghe barges through, but Antonians manages to bring him down.
Rodrigo trying to find a way. Rodrigo lifted up, but safely landed. No problem there. Antonians are becoming ever so confident in their tackling. And their vice captain has been brilliant. Here's Marasinghe getting building up a steam. You shouldn't let Marasinghe run. You need to try and stop him as soon as he gets the ball. Vaidyanath to Rodrigo, sends it out to Fernando, Brian Fernando. Now Randeepa trying to go on the short side, gets it wide. Bhishma Jayasena, fresh legs in the park. Beg your pardon, Bhishma Jayasekara. Now Randeep opts to go to the right. Jayasekara breaks the first tackle into the 22 meters. Gives it to D'Souza. That's a forward pass any day of the week. A little bit of a brain fade, which is why you don't get a lot of forwards passing all the time around. Vishika Fernando that time, the guilty party. He gave it to Nitik Rodrigo, who was in front of him. Antonians will be happy that they managed to see through. A lot of tired legs, a lot of cramps keep creeping up. But this has been a terrific encounter. What a brilliant and what an ideal curtain raiser to this Dialog Schools Rugby League. And if we are to go by what has been played in front of us, Sunit, we are in for an absolute treat.
Really, really excited for this season, Sudarshan. After seeing this game so far, excited to see the rest of the fixtures. Big games coming up. The very first week of this Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. As for this game, Antonians leading 17 points to 12. Josephians cracking under pressure, not managing to take the numerical advantage. Antonians doing brilliantly in their defense, holding on the Josephians, forcing them to make a mistake. As Gunaratna now feeds in the ball, good clean scrum.
A little high pass to Keithisiri, who manages to collect it and kick it deep. Joe's now looking to run from deep. Lovely tackle by Velagedara, putting under pressure, but he has space. Bhishma Jayasekara, from the time he has come in, he's been mercurial, but didn't find the support that he needed and was isolated. Antonian skipper breathing a massive sigh of relief. Massive sigh of relief, and wants Mohammad Amjad to come and fill in to try and kick this one out. Amjad duly complies and helps his skipper, brings play back to the 10-meter mark, still in the Antonian half. Take a look at this. Keithisiri was first man arriving. He had all the right to the ball. Supported his body weight rather, and lovely tackling work. Important line out for the Antonians. Still one man down. 52 minutes on our clock. Sachin Thanavaidyanath, like he's done time and time again last season, delivers a lovely counter line out. Here's Rodrigo. Cutting back inside, Rodrigo on the ground. Antonians around the rocks have been absolutely brilliant, putting the Joes under pressure. Vaidyanath taking the ball inside. Randeep digs for it now. Bhishma to Gunaratna, who loses control of it. Antonians on pursuit. Whoa, that's dangerous. That's very, very, very dangerous. It's only a matter of what color the card is going to be, and I'm going to tell you that from what we saw, it looks like it's going to be a telling blow for the Antonians. Here's what happened. He might not have... Oh, lands on the head. That's going to be, from what we saw, a red card. Yes, referee signaling that lands on the red. That's a red.
There were no mitigating factors, Sudarshana. Straight away lifted the player directly, the head first on the ground.
Early shower for the Antonian halfback, Oshan Gunaratne. Very unfortunate because he had played a screamer. He had been absolutely wonderful throughout this game. But boy, oh boy, what a time to get the red card. Jose now taking it quickly. Antonians were not privy to it. Rodrigo. Antonians playing against 15 with 13 men on their ranks. Jose will want to make sure that they get that numerical advantage. Coughs up a penalty. Just like that. Antonians still fighting, wanting to make sure that they go all the way. Sahan Ketisiri is on the ground, not something that you want to see if you are an Antonian supporter, because his right leg is heavily strapped. Heavily strapped. This game is turning out to be an absolute cracker. James, what haven't we had in this game? Lovely tries, incredible conversions, yellow cards, red cards. Oh, that's where it happened. Ketisiri lost his footing.
Yet he still manages to bring down Marsinger. Marsinger, with so much support behind him, couldn't keep the ball. This has been the issue for the Josephians continuously. As Antonians continue to play, I think it would be the ideal call for the coach to take out KTC because it's a long season ahead, Sudarshana.
Can you do that to your skipper, your key man? We will have to wait and see. Seems like a replacement is going to be made. Omita Disanaika will go out for the replacement scrum half to come in. Omita Disanaika has done some commendable work throughout this game, so kudos to him. Short arm jab, closing the gap. Again, the Joes guilty of not playing to the whistle and not abiding by the rules around set pieces. Antonians, interestingly, wanted to go for a scrum. Still with a two-man disadvantage. They want to suck in those minutes, seconds. James, they know that it's only a matter of time until Rialano comes back. "55 minutes on our clock. Under 15 minutes to go. Antonians have lost the ball. Now on the short side was Brian Fernando. Lovely tackle on him. Oh boy, oh boy. Seneko Kotuvila did not have any right to that ball. He was lying on the ground. He had to support his body weight, and giving away a penalty when you're two men down is not the ideal thing to do. Will this be the opportunity the Josephians were waiting for? Gunaratna with the responsibility to try and get his forwards a platform to attack from. Kick out from the 22 meters. Inside the 22 meters rather.
St. Joseph's College. I think this would be the most important line out in this game for the Josephians. The Josephian hooker Seniviratna is limping. She lines up to throw the ball.
To number 4, setting it up by St. Joseph's. Good defense again by the Antonians. Here's Janit Marasinghe to his brother Naveen. Brought to ground by the Antonians. Still fighting. And Vihanger Randeepa loses the ball right in front of the post. Inside 22 meters. Will that be the costliest error this game? We will have to wait and see, as the Antonians have now been restored to 14 men. 14 against 15. Till the final whistle. Take a look at that. Should have just given it out. But pressure coming in from the Antonians, obstructing that ball and paying very, very rich dividends to the lads in double blue, maroon double blue. St. Joseph's need to fight, need to make sure that they're back in this game. They get back to this game. Ball available at the back. Or the replacement halfback making absolute hash of it. Absolute hash of it. Costly error by the Antonians. Errors now picking up as we close in on the final 10 minutes of this curtain race of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. Big shout out to all of you who have subscribed the Papare.com from the overseas. Thank you very much for helping the game and helping us do what we love to do, to bring you this live action. Referee Abekon not happy with the set, wants it to be reset. Jose need a converted try to go in front. Need a touchdown to make sure that they equalize. Antonians, on the other hand, have to fight with 14 men. Just 14 men. Here's Randeepa. To Sachintan. Oh, well. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Jaya Vikrama, you lad. Take a look at this. Butterfingers on that wet ball. It's never easy. Bhishma Jaya Vikrama, Jai Singh rather, was impressive from the way moment he came in. He broke tackles, he gained interesting meters, but when it mattered, drops the ball cold. Now the Antonians, will they make them pay? Will they manage to try and get out of trouble? Clean ball available at the back. Keetisiri puts the ball up. High hanging kick. Not underneath it are the Joes. Opting to run from their own half. Antonians managing to stop them inside their own half. Long pass to Fernando. Abdul doing the defensive work. Here's the two try scorer Atu Korala. Rodrigo puts the ball to boot. Keetisiri collects inside his own 22. Replies in kind. That's a massive kick by Keetisiri, and that's a 50-22. What a 50-22 for the Antonians. Josephians rattled. Antonians are making this one work. St. Anthony's skipper is making things work for the Eagles. How about that kick? James, absolutely out of international rugby, if I may say so. And this young lad has a bright future in front of him, and I do pray to God that he takes care of his knee, which is heavily strapped. Antonians not managing to get it correctly, but referee Abe Kohn says stop time.
Off your screen after that kick, Sudarshan, you could see how pumped the Antonian forwards were. And this is not the body language we would see in an experienced Joe's outfit.
Here's the line out. Important one. Set up at the third pod. Ball available at the back for the Antonians who want to go forward. Sachin Thanavaidanatha manages to pounce on it. On a run alone. Keithisiri in attack. Antonians now pinching on that ball. Vaidanatha, very well done initially, but now holding on. Oh well. Everything happening here at Bogambara in the curtain racer. Under 10 minutes to go in this second half.
Brilliant work there by Vaidanatha, ripping the ball off. Didn't have support. Managed to release the ball. Got back onto his feet. But then yet again went down. Couldn't release the ball. Antonians now with another penalty. Gaining few more meters. Close to the 50-meter mark. Trying to run down the clock. There you go. Brilliant work there by Vaidanatha.
Absolutely terrific work. If you are a third rower, if you are a second rower in a mall, in defense, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to come through the gate. You got to make sure that you get your hands on the ball. Even if you go down, you are going to come away with the advantage. Brilliant work by Vaidanatha, but he was isolated on the other end of the park. So the Antonians managing to get a little bit of breathing space. Antonians in no hurry to try and fetch the ball. They say if you want the Joes, you can try and get that yourself. Joes, again, not in a hurry. They are down 5 points. They need to make sure that they try and speed this one up. Line out by Galanga. Not a clean line out, but luckily for the Antonians, managing to get it away. This time, Velagedara takes it in. Keithisiri with his boot. A grubber goes over the player inside the 22 meters. Antonian chases have been good. Antonians hold on to possession. Now in a threatening possession. They can put this game to bed if they try and score this one. Decided to slow it down. Keeping it close to each other.
Antonians trying to milk out a penalty, keeping it close to the forwards. Josefians have to keep their discipline now. It's now or never for them if they want to have a comeback. This time goes out, gives a pop-up pass as Kotuela goes into contact. Antonians trying to lose their backs to free up some space. Yet again,
Keithisiri, show and go, cuts back inside, still going Keithisiri. Twist and turn, makes the ball available. Antonians clearing it out. Forwards now, getting in on the act, inside 5 meters. That's the ball available for the Antonians. Need to be careful, the Joes, not to give away a penalty because you have a monster of a boot on the other side. Now to the short side, numbers on the outside for Antonians, and there will be a try to Roshan Kumar. The Eagles strike in dying minutes of this curtain raiser of Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. 22 points to 17 with the conversion to come. I beg your pardon, 22 to 12 with the conversion to come. And the Josephian supporters are stunned. This is not what they have come for. Antonians playing out of their skin. Take a look at this. Lovely bit of work. Firecrackers go. As Roshan Kumar touches down, he knows that this could be the final nail in the coffin for the lads from Maradana. 22 points to 12, 66 minutes on our clock.
Brilliant atmosphere, brilliant game. Antonians holding their nerve with just 14 men. This time around, Katy City not managing to add the extras. But Antonians in front, 10 points. 10-point difference, 2 tries. You should have 1 converted and 1 try, Josephians, if they want to get the lead. They need to hurry things up. They don't look like they want to hurry things up. Can they have a comeback? Just under 3 minutes to go in our clock.
We have seen this time and time again, isn't it? So that every time you lose a player, the rest of the players really put their hand up and they say, we are going to play out of our skin. We are going to compensate for the man that we've lost. Oh, how about that for a kick? Nothing going the way of St. Joseph's College. And I think it's time now that we decide the NDB player of the match. And I think even a 6-year-old kid who's here at Bogambara will be able to try and point out who the player of the match has been, who has had the biggest say in this game. And James, I think you will agree too that it has to be no one absolutely other than Sahan Ketasiri.
No argument there, Sudarshana. As Antonians manages to keep the ball with themselves, bundle into touch. And a line out for Josephians. The referee wanted to clarify whether there was a knock forward or it was just line out. And Josephians now with the line out. Final few minutes. From the start of the second half, Antonians were on the front foot, Sudarshana. Josephians didn't have anything to say back to that momentum the Antonians had. Good clean line out. Setting up a brilliant maul. Going forward. Taken down. No, Marasinghe still going forward. Taking 3 players with him. Gaining more than 15 meters. A loose ball. Antonians managing to get the ball back.
Has been a problem throughout this game, isn't it? Every time Marasinghe gets the ball, he gains meters. But continuity has been a problem for the Josephians. They either lose the ball or it turns out to be a loose ball. A little bit of rugby tennis taking place here at Bogambara. And oh, this is not ideal. That's going to be a penalty in favor of St. Joseph's. Because the tackler was right in front of the kicker. He was offside. So Joes will want to try and get that advantage. They will have to try now go. Again a yellow card. So Antonians have now lost 3 players to the sin bin. Second yellow card for the Antonians while on a red card. 22 points to 12.
Gunaratna now puts it out, gaining few meters, bringing play inside the 22. Red zone defense required for St. Anthony's. St. Joseph's College needs to score and get back for the restart very, very fast. What is St. Joseph's College going to do? Short line out. Referee says not straight.
The Antonians looking in all eagerness at the referee, whether it's time for them to celebrate a very, very popular victory. They're already celebrating. Referee Shankar has said it's last move. Oh, what a game this one has been. Giddy up the young Antonian Eagles. You have managed to slay your prey. The mighty Josephian juggernaut has been stopped. St. Joseph's in the opening game have succumbed to the pressure of the host.
Not the ideal start for the season for the Josephians, but Antonians, what a game. They've been brilliant from the start of the second half. Yes, there were ups and downs in the first half, but second half, it was all St. Anthony's College. Referee saying the hooker putting up his feet too soon, so penalized again.
Oh, Sahankit City makes a mistake, but that will be it. St. Anthony's College are jubilant here at Bogambara. 22 points to 12. They have humbled the mighty Josephians. Antonians have made sure they start the season in the best possible fashion they could. Absolutely terrific stuff from the Antonians as they celebrate a famous victory here at Bogambara. This will go into folklore, and I am telling you, this young man, Sahan Kirtisiri, is going to be the one to keep an eye out on.
Brilliant, brilliant game. Brilliant stuff by the Antonians. St. Joseph's College has a lot of homework to do. You've got to look at what went wrong. We didn't see the experience coming into play except for few moments of Naveen Marusingha where he did his best, but the skipper couldn't do it alone for the Josephians. Antonians winning the very first game. Good momentum booster. 22 points to 12. St. Anthony's College winning the first game of this Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023.
Oh, while if you are an Antonian celebrating for this incredible victory, King's Crest 9-minute sausages, the bite that bite bags, will be the ideal accompaniment for you. It is the ideal pairing to spice up your parties. I'm sure that will go late into the night. This all-new sensation brought to you by King's Crest is one of Sri Lanka's most trusted and loved food brands, and all those parties that will go late into the night here in Kandy, I think this is the ideal bite that will bite you back, just as your young Antonians bit the Josephian juggernaut. What an incredible game that we've seen here at Bogambara. A battle of the Saints as we take a look at the highlights of the second half. Antonians came with all guns blazing, James.
Absolutely, Sudarshan, with that first try in the second half. Antonians from there on managed to keep their composure, even with at 2 points rather, with down to 13 men. They managed to keep their heads cool, to see it through. There you go, the incident where Antonians lost Gunaratna. And this was the try that sealed the victory for the Eagles. What a way to start off this season. Brilliant stuff, 22 points to 12. Absolutely cracker of a first game, Sudarshana. If this is how it's going to be for the rest of the season, I would not want to miss a single game.
Or you will not want to miss a single minute of the upcoming season, if this is what you are going to go by. 22 points to 12. And NTB player of the match, Sahan Kirtisiri, take a bow, young man. 3 tries, 2 conversions. Those 2 conversions absolutely lifted up the Antonians. A penalty to go with as well. But how about those 50-22s? Absolutely terrific 50-22s. Getting the momentum back to the Antonians and making sure that they go all the way.
Absolutely. Those territorial kicks boosted the momentum of his forwards. As we look at the rest of the games this week, Vidyartha College taking on Science College at Bogambara right here on the 16th, followed by St. Peter's College taking on Royal College. A big game, first game of the season for Royal and St. Peter's. At Bambalapiti on 17th, St. Thomas College taking on Wesley at Mount Lavinia on the 17th as well. And then Dhamraj College hosting Trinity College at Bogambara on 17th. And to close out the week, Kingswood College will be taking on Isipatana College on the 18th at Bogambara.
Well, round 1, week 2, we are already looking at the week 2, but plenty of games coming up this week as well. So we are in for a treat, lads, and if you are going to be following this Dialog Schools Rugby League, you need to make sure that you log on to Sri Lanka's #1 sports app, www.thepapare.com, as we will bring you interesting action, all the interesting action, and also the highlights, the reviews and the previews of the Dialog Schools Rugby League. What we'll do now is we will say goodbye, love you and leave you from Bogambara until we come back to you live on Friday with another encounter, same place, same time, as Vidyartha takes on Science College. Until we meet next time, I'm Sudarshan Piri signing off alongside James Pires in the com box, and also our technical and production crew of the Papare.com, sharing the passion.
Introducing NeosPay, a fun way to make payments from your Neos app. For the fun of paying, #NeosPay.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. අත්තිදින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
මේ ජොබ් එක අදම කරෙන්න ඕනේ
අදම
no problem
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
black no problem
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි.
නටමුද
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැර ඉල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වනවා අචි
රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
Beautiful outside and inside. Beautiful outside and inside.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය ජීවිතය අත්දින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
හිත දාලනට වෙන වන්නිනිම වින්නුනා සරදාවී අතනාරි කොක්තුමි පම්තමා ප්‍රීමා කොක්තුමි පම්තමයි
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Catch me howling at the moon.